Men, ask for Aunt Jemima buckwheat pancakes. They're good.
Pancakes and syrup, that's what Aunt Jemima sold for over 130 years, until today. Quaker announcing it is scrapping the brand. In a statement saying, "We recognize Aunt Jemima's origins are based on a racial stereotype." The name and smile taken from a minstrel show in the antebellum South.
Aunt Jemima! I wish I was on the cotton.
A character based on a mammy, the stereotype of an always smiling kitchen slave.
Aunt Jemima is that kind of stereotype that is premised on this idea of Black inferiority.
With demonstrations protesting racial inequality, pressure was mounting on Quaker.
Baby, you hungry?
Then this TikTok from singer Kirby went viral. She called it "How to Make a Non-Racist Breakfast."
Not today. Black Lives Matter, people. Even over breakfast.
The company, which is owned by Pepsico, says the announcement is part of an effort to make progress toward racial equality. Now Mars, the makers of Uncle Ben's rice, says, "We recognize that now is the right time to evolve the Uncle Ben's brand, which we will do," without specifying how. ConAgra will be reviewing Mrs. Butterworth's, while adding the intention of its brand is to evoke a loving grandmother.
But it is urgent to expunge our public spaces of a lot of these symbols that, for some people are triggering and represent terror and abuse.
The pancake and syrup maker acknowledging today that harm can be done, even over breakfast. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
It has been months since PepsiCo announced that it will replace the name and logo for its Aunt Jemima products that fed into racial stereotypes. And finally, the day has arrived. They have a new name and it will be called Pearl Milling Company. According to ABC News, the new name is an homage to the mill that began making the pancake mix in 1889. But anyways, the good news is a name that had racial undertones is gone. For all those people who said protests were meaningless, now you have the answer. Protests are part of democracy. The only problem is when you take things way too far while protesting. That should be a strict rule, and the entire world learned the lesson in a hard way after January 6th. No one should contest the right to protest, but no protester has the right to turn it into a violence. News of Aunt Jemima's rebranding in June started a domino effect among food brands with racist or otherwise controversial mascots. Within hours of the announcement, the Mars Food Company announced it would do away with the brand name and logo for Uncle Ben's rice, eventually rebranding itself as Ben's Original. ConAgra-owned syrup maker Mrs. Butterworth, whose humanoid bottle shape looked like a woman of color when filled with maple syrup, announced they were changing the brand's name on the same day. And one day later, Cream of Wheat's parent, B&G Foods, said it was doing away with its black chef logo, which was used on a dim-witted blackface minstrel show caricature seen in early 20th century Cream of Wheat ads. The relentless and peaceful Black Lives Matter protesters and activists have slowly but surely started to force a behavioral change.
A peaceful Black Lives Matter protest was held overnight in the north part of the valley, and those at that gathering shared an important message. Take a listen.
I am fighting the same battle my mom and daddy fought in 1960. We fighting it in 2020. So I'm tired of keep fighting.
Brothers and sisters, we have to go out and vote. Our vote do count.
Dozens of people gathered near MLK and Cary in North Las Vegas to continue the discussion of change and injustice in our country. Organizers also encouraged everyone to get out and vote during Nevada's primary election tomorrow. And Sunday marked day 11 of Black Lives Matter protests here in the Valley.
Forcing corporate brands to take notice, accept their mistake and change things is a great outcome for BLM activists. One step done, 1,000 more to go. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please do subscribe.